Good day, one and all. My name is Kathy, and I'd like to welcome you to this episode of the Scrap and Crafty Gardener. Today, I'm going to be making a card based on this past Friday's Craft Roulette Challenge number 219. If you have not heard of the Craft Roulette YouTube channel, I'll have the link below to the episode from this past Friday. I encourage you to watch it. It's a great show. They spin a wheel and tell you what you need to make that week. And then you have until Sunday night if you're not a member, and Thursday night if you are a member, to make a card or project, submit it, and then on the next Friday, they will randomly select people to win prizes based on the cards or project that you have submitted. Now, for this episode, which is number 219, we needed to make a project that was anniversary related. We had to use the colors of a salad, and we had to pick something new, and the random is a folded corner. So I have picked a card that is going to require a lot of stenciling. I'm going to be using the Waffle Flower Holiday Stripes stamp. And then this Prinkfresh Studios, the Blooming Branch. This is a stamp, stencil, and die set. So I'm going to be using that. And to make the card, I used the Waffle Flower 5x7 Lacy Layers. This and GinaK Designs Master Layouts 8 are my two favorite, and I use these a lot. And I've already used this today, so I'm going to set that aside because I used it to cut out the outer stitched frame. Okay, so I'm making a yellow card today because my salad colors that I have chosen is egg salad. And egg salad is yellow and white and green if you throw in some relish, so I'm going to put some green elements in here. So my card is my usual 10x7. This measures 10 inches across by 7 inches down. I see there's a shadow. I do apologize for that. I scored it at the 5-inch mark, folded it over, creased it with my bone folder. Then I cut out two using the the Waffle Flower Lacy Layers. But if you don't have that, this measures 4 3/8 inch by 6 3/8 inch. And then you could do some scalloped edges with your scissors or anything that you have, or just leave it plain. I cut out two of those because one's going to be going on the inside. Since I have a yellow card, I like to put something white on the inside. And then I have a piece of white that I will be stamping on and then stenciling. So we're going to start with the stenciling project. And we have two avenues of stenciling today. Oh, and I need to get my gray dye. Hold on. I thought I had that over here, but I did not. I have my Waffle Flower grip mat down here. I absolutely love these. And I'm going to take the textured panel and put that down, but I don't want my edges to be covered. So somewhere up here, there it is. I have this roll. I believe it's a hair over a 1/4 inch washi tape that I would never use. Sometimes you get an idea that you like a couple of the washi tapes in the kit, but you don't like them all. And this is one I could never see me using, but I like the others that were in the package. I'm just putting this right up to the edge, so I'm going to leave an edge on this that won't be colored. Now, you could use Masking Magic, any sort of masking paper. You could even tape sticky notes down here. But I have this. I want to use the things I already have. And if I don't like it, it's going to get used up. Okay, now I'm going to take this. And see, now that I have masked it off, this stencil fits perfectly inside my card. The only thing I don't like about this stencil is you can see it's kind of wavy. You can get your fingers under there easily. So when I'm going to stencil, I'm going to have to go in one direction. I normally go in a circular motion, but that's not going to work here. Now, I'm going to get just a piece of scrap paper. And I just want to do a very light gray. Just a very light. So that you can barely see it on the card. And I'm just going to lift up to see if it's needs to be a little bit darker. I want it to be barely seen, but I don't want it to be invisible. Yeah, it could need a little bit harder in here. That's why I like this grip mat. You can just lift your stencil up and look to see if it's how you want it. That's good. Now, I'm just going to take this and flip this over the other direction. Because I'm going to make a plaid. Hopefully. Now we'll just go the other direction. And I put a little gray in here for my salad color because, oh dear, somebody made my salad with not so good mayonnaise. And it was starting to turn gray. At least that's my theory, and I'm going with it. Now let's see how that looked. All right, that's cool. Okay. But it's light enough that it's not going to distract from the actual salad color. Now we need to get this washi tape up. And see, and it left a nice, clean, crisp edge without any stencil colors on it. I'll bring it up a little closer so that you can see. Hopefully you can see. I can't see in the camera to see what you're seeing. All right, now we're done with that. So we're going to set that aside for a minute. And I'm going to put the cover back on here. Because what I need to do now is stamp the flower image. And I have my Misty. This is the original size Misty, and I have another waffle flower grip mat in here. I had some people ask the other day, so I was trying to go over what products I'm using. I'm not affiliated with anyone in any way, so I don't have links below, but I do have a list of the products that I use. So I'm going to just stamp this in the center, because I'm going to cut off all the extra. Let's move my card up there so that I don't get it dirtier than it will end up being. Now I'm going to use VersaFine Clair in the color Nocturne. You could use any black ink for this. This is just one of my favorites, as it usually gives a nice, crisp, clean image. And this is, I call it a stamping helper. It's just a lid to a candle that I filled with glitter and resin, and then put a cutout vinyl sentiment on it. And I have a video on how I made that. It was in one of my early videos. And that is perfect. So now I'm just going to clean this off with a little bit of water. And this is just a spray bottle that I got at Dollar Tree in the cosmetics section. Or in the toiletry section. They also have them on Amazon. It's just a little spray bottle. Any bottle will work. I just like this size. And it works very well until you start running out of water. And then you fill it back up and it works great again. I have some more of these in sometime this week, I'm going to make my own shimmer spray using those bottles. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. And now we're going to stencil this. Okay, and this stencil set has 6 pieces. And I angled it a little so that I can get the ink on the ink, yeah. So I can get the stencil onto the grip mat. Now I've chosen 4 colors of yellow. And Lemon Drop is the lightest color. These are all GinaK. Lemon Drop, Prickly Pear, Wild Dandelion, and Sweet Corn. And I put the names on the top. I did get her labels that I put on the side for when I'm stacking them. I can see the color names, but I like to know them from the top. Pardon me while I get a drink of Kool-Aid. Now the Lemon Drop is the lightest color. So I'm going to go with that first. And I probably have yellow on my brush already. So I'm just going to rub it off. Oh yeah, I did have yellow on my brush already. Now I'm just going to go over the stencil. Layer 1. I love stencils because if you're not great at coloring, or you have a terrible time coloring, or maybe you just don't like to color, you can do this easily. Okay, now I'm just going to set these stencils aside and then I'll wash them off when we're done. Then stencil number 2, which I just buried under here. Get that lined up. Set it off the mat. And I'm going to go with the Wild Dandelion, which is the next color. And I'm just using the same brush. It's A-okay. That's the second stencil. Now my third color is called Sweet Corn. And put that down. You could use the same couple of colors. You would just go with a light hand for your first layer and then a medium and just build up the layers to make them look darker. If you don't have 4 colors of a flower color, then just use what you have. And then the 4th layer is the center of the flowers. And this one's always a little challenging for me to get lined up, but that's not too bad. And for that, I'm using Prickly Pear. And I'm going to go in with as heavy a hand as I can get, because I want these centers to be dark. Nice. Okay, and we're done with our yellows. Now we've got leaf colors. And I have Jelly Bean Green, which is a lighter color, and Fresh Asparagus, which is a darker color. So I'm going to go with my lighter color first and try and figure out where this lines up at. Right there. Okay, and check my green brush. Okay. And I'm just going in with a fairly light hand here. I'm not pressing down too much, but I am pressing just a little. And I just have cheap generic brushes that I got on Amazon. They work great. Sure, I'd love to have the more name brand brushes, but these work for me right now. That's layer 5, and look at how beautiful this is coming. You didn't need to color or anything. And now I'm using Fresh Asparagus, which is a darker shade of green. And this really doesn't take too long. And now I'm going with a fairly heavy hand here. I'm really pushing those bristles down because I want this to be dark. Because I'm thinking of dark pickle relish inside the egg salad sandwich. But I prefer just egg, mayo, a little bit of salt and pepper. I'm not very... I get a food, I like it, I don't change it. I'm not very experimental. And look at how nice that looked. Right. I guess I'm more of a traditional egg salad that my grandma and my mom used to make. And that I still make. Okay, now we're going to cut this out. So I'm just going to spray off my grip mat with a little bit of water. It doesn't need anything fancy. And just dry it off. Now I'll put the cover back on it. Pick it up. Sorry for the noise. And put it back in its rack. Okay, now we need to cut this out. So I have my Anna Griffin Empress machine. With arthritis, I was having a really hard time using the manual machines all the time. So I recently upped to the electronic machine and I just love it. Okay, now to get this lined up, and that's not going to be that difficult. Just like that. Put my plate down. And you see the magnet bows a little bit, but that's okay. You just squish it and it goes flat again. Okay. Oh, and that came out so nice. See, and that's going to look pretty on there. All right, now this over here because I don't need that anymore, and put this back in its folder along with the stamp. The stencils will go in after I wash them off later. And I always save the piece of paper that comes with it because it shows me what words were with it, even though I have separated them out into their own folders. Just how my mind functions. Now, since this needs to be an anniversary card, I do have an anniversary sentiment, and let's see where where did I set that? Uh-oh. Hello. Oh, here it is. I have these set of stamps. These are really old. They're circular, and they had the words in the middle. I just cut out happy anniversary. I don't really use these circles, but I can use this part of it without any trouble. And it's a little dusty. So I'm just going to clean it with a little bit of water to bring back the stickiness. Now, I want to see on my card, because this is going to go here. And then I want this to stick out just a little bit. And I want my words right there. So I'm just going to close my mat, lift that up. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. I needed to keep it together because now it is gone. You think one thing's going to work and then it doesn't. So right here is where I'm going to stamp that. And I'm going to use the VersaFine Clair Nocturne again. Let's move these brushes. I do not want to get ink on something that doesn't need ink on it, which I tend to do every now and then. That's okay. I'm a messy crafter. I have learned to live with that and embrace it at times. And then other times, oh no, I got to organize. Oh, that's perfect. Just clean that off with a little bit of water. See, if you have a stamp that you don't like the whole thing of it, it's okay to get rid of the parts you don't like. All right, now, let's put this together. I think I want to, no, I'm not going to stamp on the inside. I'm just going to put that down. I use this Tombow multi-glue. I love it. I also have the art glitter glue in a small bottle. I'm just going to fill in the inside here. Now, for this outside, and we need to have a folded corner, I'm just going to take and fold up a corner here. Try and get it straight. I'm just going to crease that a little bit, fold up that corner. And then I'm going to glue that down. Normally I wouldn't do this, but this is part of this challenge, is you have to include all the elements. And I will just put like a little sequin or something on there. So this, I'm going to pop this up a little bit. And I have this, this is 1/2 inch, but it's a very low loft, which means it's not very high, foam tape. And I'm just going to put that on here to lift it up off the cards slightly. And then I'm just going to go catty corner. Okay. Wheel. Now I'm just going to put a little dab of liquid glue on the foam just to give me a little wiggle room for placement. Now I'm just going to stand up. I'm sorry, my desk chair is very squeaky. All right, put that down. Now let's put our flower on. And I'm going to go off the side, and we're just going to glue this down flat, and I'm going to use my smaller glue bottle for this. All right. A little bit more glue on this leaf. Now I'm just going to stick my, I have an acrylic block that I covered, and I'm just going to sit that down there to hold it down for just a moment. And I'll throw these papers away while I'm here. Now I have some rhinestones that I want to put on here, and I have some that I've already colored, but I need some more of them. So let's see. I wonder what this shallow earth. Let's see what this looks like when I color it. I just use clear rhinestones because I can take my alcohol inks and color them anything I want. Oh, I love that. Okay, so these are Ohuhu alcohol art markers, and this is Y488 Shallow Earth. And I'm just going to color some of these. It's a pale golden yellow. Now, if I run out of this strip and I have all of these down here that I haven't used, you can just take your rubbing alcohol and rub it off and recolor them. I'm just going to put a couple on the flower stems themselves. And I want to put one down here on that curled up corner, or folded up corner. It needs a little bit more glue up here. I have a tendency to over glue and have glue run out, so I've been trying to use a little bit less, but then find I didn't use enough. Let's see, oh, that one's got a lot of glue stuck to it. I think we'll put one here. And one right there. Okay, that's our card for today. Let's see if I've met all the parameters. It needs to be an anniversary card. Oh, it didn't have to be a card. It just said an anniversary. So it could have been a scrapbook page, a photo frame, or whatever. So we got anniversary. Colors of the salad. I used egg salad with relish in it. Elements, new. The waffle flower stencil for me is new. I have never done a folded corner on purpose before, so that's new to me. And it's also the random, the folded corner. So that came out pretty well. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Goodbye.